Unit 2, Animal Life. Chapter 3, Reproduction in Animals. New to know. Animals that lay eggs. Animals that give birth to young ones. All living things live for a certain period of time, which is called their lifespan. They grow, become old and die. To continue the life on earth, all living things produce young ones like themselves. The process by which animals produce their young ones is called reproduction. Animals reproduce in two ways: by laying eggs, by giving birth to young ones. Know your scientist. Lazzaro Spallanzani, Italian scientist, did extensive research on the reproduction in animals. Animals that lay eggs. Birds, amphibians, aquatic animals, insects, and reptiles lay eggs. These animals lay eggs and keep them in a warm place or sit on them to keep them warm. The eggs hatch after maturing and the babies come out of them. Birds. Birds make nest to lay eggs. The female bird lays her eggs in the nest. An egg has a hard outer shell which protects it. The yellow portion in the center of the egg is called the yolk. The yolk contains a dark spot called an embryo. The embryo grows into a baby bird. The developing embryo gets its food from yolk. A white substance around the yolk is called albumin. Albumin protects an embryo and provides it with water. The bird sits on the eggs for weeks to keep them warm. This is called incubation. Finally, the fully developed baby bird comes out breaking the egg shell. This is called hatching. Life cycle of a bird. The baby bird of hen is called a chick. The parent birds feed and take care of their young ones. Amphibians. Amphibians like frog lay their eggs in cluster called spawn in water. After a few days, eggs hatch out into tiny young ones called tadpoles. A tadpole has a tail like a fish and it breathes through gills. It keeps growing and changing into a mature frog. During this process, it develops legs, teeth and loses its gills and develops lungs for breathing. Finally, it becomes an adult frog. The process of changing of a tadpole into an adult is called metamorphosis. Wonder bugs. The animals such as earthworms, snails, slugs, etc. are hermaphrodites and possess male and female reproductive organs in the same organism. Starfish and sea anemones are two animals that reproduce asexually. Aquatic animals. A fish lays eggs in cluster called spawn in water. Only few hundred eggs grow into baby fish. Whales and dolphins are aquatic animals, but they are mammals and give birth to young ones. Insects. Insects like grasshoppers and cockroaches undergo 3 stages in their life cycle, while houseflies and butterflies undergo 4 stages. An egg of cockroach hatches out into a young one called nymph. Metamorphosis. A process by which an animal develops by undergoing many stages of development. A nymph does not have wings. It sheds its skin many times and grows into an adult. The process of shedding skin is called molting. A female butterfly lays eggs in cluster under the leaves. An egg of butterfly hatches out into a young worm called larva. The larva of a butterfly is called a caterpillar. The caterpillar feeds on leaves and grows. Then it forms an outer covering around its body called cocoon. This stage is called pupa. Inside the pupa, the caterpillar changes and finally grows into an adult and comes out. This type of growing in stages is known as metamorphosis. Add-ons. The larva of a housefly is called a maggot. Reptiles. Reptiles like snakes, lizards, and crocodiles lay eggs in holes in the ground. Most of these reptiles do not take care of their eggs or young ones. Some of the eggs are eaten by the other animals and remaining hatch out by the warmth of the sun. Animals that give birth to young ones. Animals that give birth to young ones are called mammals. For example, cow, lioness, rabbit, kangaroo, bitch, etc. The young ones of mammals grow inside the body of the mother for a few weeks. After they are born, mother takes care of them and feeds them with their milk. Molting means shedding of old skin. Mammals have some special features. They have 4 limbs, 2 arms and 2 legs. They have well-developed brain. Their body is covered by hair or fur. They are warm-blooded, which means that they regulate their body temperature according to climatic conditions. Add-ons: duck-billed platypus and spiny anteater are mammals, but they lay eggs. Final learnings: all living things live for a certain period of time, which is called their lifespan. The process by which animals produce their young ones is called reproduction. Birds, amphibians, aquatic animals, insects, and reptiles lay eggs. Shell, yolk, and albumen are different parts of an egg.